Let's do this. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new, very special, very monumental episode of Cosplay Chris, and today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free review of Avengers Infinity War. Like I said, this is a spoiler-free review. I'm going to be very vague about the plot. I'm only going to be telling you guys from what we know, from what we've seen in trailers, the basic premise of the film, give my very vague thoughts on what to expect, and then an overall score. Now, I have had to write down a lot of dot points on my phone because, let's face it, there is a lot to take in with Infinity War. We have so many characters that this film has to cover. We have new ones, old ones. We've got a villain that is not just a bunch of pixels. So it is pretty safe to say that Avengers Infinity War is one of the most anticipated Marvel / superhero films ever. It has been 10 years since the first Iron Man film came out. From then on, it has been leading up to this point. The storyline is so vast that it had to be split into 2 films. Marvel have not released the official title of the next installment of the Avengers yet, so as far as we're all concerned, we're just calling it Infinity War Part 2. So the Russo brothers are back in the director's chairs. They've done an amazing job, stayed true to the mythology, staying true to the source material. So the basic premise of the film is Thanos has finally decided to acquire all 6 of the Infinity Stones. Thanos, this guy right here with the funny eyes. And of course we have our Avengers, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy coming together to put a stop to Thanos. Now, one of the biggest questions we were, or we still are asking if you guys haven't seen the film yet, can they cover this many characters in one film? And I can officially say yes. Granted, you have to understand whether it be the Avengers or the Guardians, they are split into little crews per se, then they eventually come together. So it is going to be darting from one crew to the other, but the film handles it perfectly. It has balance to it. All the characters get ample screen time, they have their moments, they have their time to shine. That was my biggest concern because I felt Infinity War would have the Last Jedi syndrome where it's just darting from one storyline or one group to the other and it just becomes a giant mess. But in this case, they rely on jumping from one crew to the other because it all makes sense in the end. Everyone in this film brought their A game. Hell, even the fake rock in the background in Wakanda brought its A game. You can tell the actors are having a ball portraying these characters, and they've been portraying them for quite some time, and the stakes are beyond high in a film like this, so you really do have to bring your A game, and I can officially say that they all do. Now let's talk about Thanos. In all honesty, like I said, this villain is not just a bunch of pixels. We all know that Josh Brolin did the motion capture for Thanos in previous installments, in the cut scenes and the post-credit scenes, but now he is front and center stage in Infinity War. He is the antagonist, and I can officially say that he is by far one of the best villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. His motives, his reasons for acquiring the Infinity Stones make total and utter sense. Now, everyone was worried that, he didn't look quite right in the first couple of trailers, but they have seriously done a brilliant job with the facial expressions of him. You can tell that's Josh Brolin in there. Even the way the light reflects his purple skin. They've done a beautiful job, and I'm glad they cleaned that up after we saw the first initial trailer. He is seriously a force to be reckoned with. You feel anxiety when either the Avengers or the Guardians are going up against him. There are seriously high stakes. There are moments that get severely heavy, tug at the heartstrings, and really push your emotions. There is an eerie calmness that Josh Brolin has playing Thanos, which, if anything, makes it more uneasy to watch him on screen. That is how a villain should affect the audience. Now, being the cosplay guy, I got to talk about the costumes, and the costumes are absolutely beautiful. You guys know that my main man is Captain America with Captain Nomad. Of course, I got the Gold Coast Superhero Weekend coming up in a couple of days, so seeing this just got me even more amped up because Chris Evans killed it as Cap. The character is severely damaged and broken, yet he brings himself back out of that darkness to fight this threat. I mean, it's a Marvel film, guys. The costumes are absolutely intricate and beautifully done. Hell, even Thanos' pixelated costume was fantastic. Now, of course, being a Marvel film and being Infinity War, there is going to be an abundance of CGI. Yes, it is very CGI heavy, but the CGI is effective. It blends in well with the practical, and like I mentioned with Thanos, they have really put the time and effort in to make everything as realistic as possible, whether it be all CGI or you have characters interacting with CGI parts. But at the end of the film, it gets very heavy. That's all I'll say. Like I said, it tugs at the heartstrings. It really pushes your emotions. There was one point for about 20 seconds that had me choking up, and I eventually just started crying. I was by myself in the cinema. Like, I had to see the film this morning because I wanted to get my review up as soon as possible, and there was one instance that just hit so close to home because it was just so well executed, so well acted. I lost my shit. So of course it is setting up part 2. There's no doubt about that. Everyone knows that. We have Infinity War Part 2, that's what I'm gonna call it for now anyway, until we get a proper title, out at the beginning of next year. So of course this is setting up for part 2. And it does, brilliantly. Everyone in the cinema went, oh, you gotta be kidding me. So Infinity War was everything I wanted to be, plus more. The humor blended very well with the drama. Visually, it is a stunning film. Marvel have really stepped up their A game in terms of visual effects. The costumes are amazing, the acting is superb. So you have this hit of anxiety the whole time you're watching this film. You know that in 2008, when we got the first Iron Man, it was leading up to this point. In my opinion, the pacing is perfect. Each character had ample screen time, they were cutting back and forth to each crew equally, and it made sense, and it wasn't a giant mess by the end of it. So guys, I'm gonna be giving Avengers Infinity War 5 geeks out of 5. And yes, there is an after credits scene, so stick around for that. Funny that after the lights came up, after the movie had completely finished, the usher ran in and he said, guys, whatever you do, do not spoil this film for anyone when you walk outside. We have another session waiting to come in, including me. It is a fantastic time at the movies. It is not just a popcorn film, it has heart, like every Marvel film does. It has the humor, the drama, all blended together and balanced perfectly. So guys, when you have seen Infinity War, just let it digest. Drop a spoiler-free comment below, let me know your thoughts. This weekend is the Gold Coast Superhero Weekend. I am amped even more so now to be Captain Nomad this weekend. Can't wait to meet you guys. So guys, wherever you are in the world, have yourselves a cracker of a day. I hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best. And yes, fully aware I have a giant raccoon in the background. Hashtag upcoming custom collectible.